He's threatening you?
Sometimes, like, I guess whenever he's mad.
What has she
Yes.
done to you?
Just the same thing she said, just threatening fight, like threatening to fight, threatening violence when she's angry.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're in a position to establish the parent-child relationship full agreement. At this time, Your Honor, I'd like the court to note that while the father has not been served, he is present in the courtroom, has been emailed a copy of the state's petition.
Okay, so noted.
I did get served yesterday.
Okay, Mr. Key. Moving forward, I want to read the agreements out into the record. Parties are in agreement for paternity to be established for the child, in this case, Journey Taylor, born March 22nd, 2024. Parties are in agreement that there has been no family violence within the past 2 years.
The courtroom suddenly turned tense when the mother calmly admitted that the father sometimes threatens to fight when he gets angry. The judge immediately focused. Are these just words, or could this turn dangerous? The mother said nothing physical has happened, but the fear is real. What looked like a normal custody hearing was starting to feel like something deeper.
However, both parties are requesting a non-disclosure of their address from today's court order. They're in agreement for it to be a mutual non-disclosure. Parties are in agreement for a joint managing conservatorship. This portion is agreed to, but it's the court's discretion. Parties are requesting 50-50 possession. Then they've been switching weekly and week on and week off. They would like to continue that. Parties are in agreement for a pickup and drop off location of Mike Mosley Elementary at 1851 West Camp Wisdom Road in Grand Prairie, Texas, 75052. Parties are in agreement for there to be a geographic restriction for the mother and the child, and the mother's in agreement to stay in Dallas and contiguous counties. Parties are in agreement that the father has no other minor biological children that he's responsible for. Parties are in agreement that the father is currently working at a warehouse with a gross monthly income of $1,257 per month and a net monthly income of $1,110 per month. Parties are in agreement, and it's the court's discretion to do 50-50 possession and have child support set at $0 starting August 1st, 2025. Parties are in agreement for medical support to be set at $50 per month starting August 1st, 2025. Parties are in agreement that the child is currently on government medical and the mother would like that to remain the same.
The lawyer presented a detailed agreement. Paternity established, 50-50 custody, weekly switching, and even zero child support. Both sides agreed to everything, making it seem like a perfect arrangement. But then something unusual came up. Both parents wanted to keep their addresses secret. The judge paused. If everything is fine, why the secrecy?
Parties are in agreement for there to be no retroactive support ordered in today's case. Parties are in agreement for a name change to Taylor-Key, and parties are in agreement for court costs to be billed to the father in today's case. As I said, there's a full agreement, Your Honor, that it will be subject to the court's discretion. At this time, I'd like to call the parties to confirm those agreements.
All right, go ahead.
First, I'd like to call the mother. Ma'am, can I get you to state your full name for the record?
Jamira Taylor.
Thank you so much, Ms. Taylor. And what is the name and ages of the child we're here for today?
Journey Taylor. And
who is the... Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
I said she's 15 months.
Thank you so much. And who is the father of that child?
Jermaine Key.
And just to confirm, you are not seeking a DNA test, correct?
Can you state that again?
Just to confirm, you're not seeking a DNA test today, is that correct?
No.
Now, at the time were you married at the time of conception?
No.
Is there any other man that could possibly be the father of your child?
No.
Therefore, you're asking the court to accept that, to establish him as the father today, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, the previous agreements I read out to the record, you heard those?
Yes.
Are those still your agreements this morning?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking the court to accept those agreements?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you believe those agreements are in the best interest of your child?
Yes.
Those are the extent of my questions for you this morning, Ms. Taylor. Is there anything else you would like to add to this case? I mean, to the court regarding your case?
No, sir.
Thank you so much. Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to pass this witness and call the father, Mr. Jermaine Key. Can I get you to state your full name for the record?
Jermaine Key.
Thank you so much, Mr. Key. Now, Mr. Key, did you hear those agreements I previously read out into the record?
Yes, sir.
And you're agreeing to be established as the father of Journey Taylor today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're not requesting DNA?
No, sir.
Aside from all that, all the other agreements that I read out into the record, are those still your agreements this morning?
Yes, sir.
You do understand that if you split 50, if the judge agrees to 50-50 possession, child support could be set at $0, but if the judge does not approve your request that we...
The judge directly asked the mother, if things are going well, why hide your address? Without hesitation, she replied, because of threats. The courtroom fell silent. The father admitted that both of them, during arguments, sometimes threatened to fight. At that moment, the judge realized the real issue wasn't the agreement. It was their maturity and behavior.
We will request that child support be paid monthly. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, the other agreements, do you believe those agreements are in the best interest of your child?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking the court to make that the order of the court today?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you would like to add to your case, Mr. Key, that I have not asked you so far?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. At this time, Your Honor, I'd like to pass this witness.
All right, I have a couple questions because some things don't make sense to me here. So, okay, first, Ms. Taylor, how long have y'all been doing 50-50?
Maybe it's like since I started working in February. In
February of 2025?
Yes.
And so y'all been doing that pretty well and things been working out pretty good
Yes.
with 50-50 since February of 2025?
Yes.
Okay. That's fine. So then I don't understand the mutual non-disclosure. Why do you want to keep your address secret if y'all are doing 50-50 and y'all are getting along and y'all are working together to raise your child together? Why does your address need to be secret?
The judge's tone turned serious. You are parents now, not teenagers. He explained that adults don't behave this way, especially when a child is involved. Threats made in anger don't just damage the relationship. They affect the child's future too. Both parents quietly agreed, as if realizing for the first time how serious their actions were.
We don't always get along.
Well, y'all are getting along enough to do 50-50, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why do you need to have your address be secret?
Because of threats.
He's threatening you?
Sometimes, like, I guess whenever he's mad, but nothing physical happens.
Okay. What is he threatening to do to you?
Fight.
To fight you?
Sometimes.
When was the last time he did that?
In April.
Okay. So y'all's, is April the last time, and were there times before April?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
'Cause when I filed for it, I filed for a child support in April, but since then, after that, we've been cool.
Okay. So basically, Mr. Key didn't want to be put on child support, so y'all end up working out an agreement for him to do 50-50. Is that kind of track with what's been going on?
Yes.
Okay. And you want to do 50-50, or you just, or
Yeah.
somebody twisting your arm trying to make you to do it?
No, I want to do it.
Okay. All right, Mr. Key, you agree with Ms. Taylor, y'all have been doing 50-50 since about April or so?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why do you need your address to...
The judge emphasized another key point. 50-50 custody only works with strong communication. Hiding addresses would completely break that system. Co-parenting requires trust and transparency. Both parents said they would try to improve their behavior, but the judge still wasn't fully convinced this change would last.
be secret?
Back to what she said as far as the threats, as far as like just like fighting threats, most time it is mutual. So, you know, the same reason she wants to, same reason I wants to. So
What has she
Yes.
done to you?
just the same thing she said, just threatening fight, like threatening to fight, threatening violence when she's angry.
How old are you, Mr. Key?
18.
Oh, you're a teenager. So
Yes,
y'all
sir.
both teenagers and you're acting like teenagers. You're acting like adults. Adults don't do that. Adults don't want to fight each other. And more particularly, men don't want threaten to beat up a woman. That's
Yes,
not
sir.
normal. That's not what people do. I mean, I understand y'all may not be dating anymore, and you may have issues about why y'all were dating and all that kind of stuff. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to ask you that information. But y'all got to get along somewhat for your child.
Yes.
You can't be threatening each other. You can't be cursing each other out. You can't threaten each other with violence. I mean, those things don't make sense. Y'all, that's why I'm like, things don't sound right. If y'all are doing 50-50, it sounds like y'all are doing really well. Now, I'm not saying you're best friends or you're dating or anything, but you're getting well enough on to be able to manage your child together.
Yes, sir.
That means that y'all shouldn't be doing those extra things or those teenage things.
I agree.
So y'all need to stop doing that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So besides all what y'all have already discussed, I mean, is there anything else I need to know about why you want a non-disclosure, Mr. Key?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to do the non-disclosure. If we're going to do 50-50, there's no reason for your addresses to be secret.
Okay.
Y'all need to be able to communicate. That's what you're telling me. If you want to do 50-50, you're telling me y'all can figure out how to communicate. And hopefully after today's talk, hopefully that will improve. You may not like the other person, and you might want to say bad things about them, but don't say them in front of the kids, and don't say them to each other. You want to say it to your mother or your brother or whatever in secret, nobody cares. But if you're saying it to each other or saying it around the child, then that's when we care. Y'all cannot act as teenagers. Y'all wanted to be parents. You wanted to be adults. You got to act like adults. Adults don't do that, except for violent adults. And I don't think either one of y'all are violent necessarily. Y'all just don't. Y'all are just kids, and you're making kid decisions. But now we got to make adult decisions. Okay, so y'all have to let each other know where you live. It's going to be essential if y'all are going to do 50-50. I don't know if that's the way it's going to be forever, but my guess is probably not. But we will see. I hope for the best. All right, so we're going to leave all that, the rest of it the same, except for the non-disclosure. Either one of you will need to take a copy of this court order to the birth certificate office to change the child's last name. It doesn't matter, father or mother, either one of you can do that. It just doesn't do it all by itself. You'll need to ask to amend the birth certificate, and then after you get a copy of the new one, then you'll need to go to the Social Security office so they can change it there as well. So you need to do that extra step before your child goes to school or as soon as possible. All right, y'all are done with court. They're going to email you a copy of the order. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.
The final ruling came. 50-50 custody approved, 0 child support maintained, but the request to keep addresses secret was denied. The judge gave a clear warning. Keep your personal conflicts away from the child. He reminded them that the real test begins outside the courtroom. They walked out, but one question remained. Will they truly become responsible parents, or will the conflict rise again?